What is up, guys? We are back with another episode of Superfriends. Tonight I'm joined with Luke and CJ.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, guys.
And we have a lot to talk about because we originally did not have anything to talk about, and we were holding off recording the episode and just getting this episode out in general was kind of a hassle. But now all kinds of stuff dropped today, so
yeah,
we can actually talk about stuff now.
It was crazy because I remember we were trying on Monday and nothing. There was one story we might have been able to do. We were trying on Tuesday, same thing. One story we might have been able to do. This is something I've been struggling with on the HNN too. Not a lot of news this week.
Yeah, if you go back and watch those, yeah.
It was so crazy. From going to no news for the HNN, and I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, and today all this stuff dropped and the video is more twice as long as it usually is.
Yeah, you had to talk about Power Rangers yesterday.
I did.
Because there was nothing.
Actually, yesterday was the advanced ticket sales, which ended up being a good video. I think it was something that a lot of people were curious about. Power Rangers was the day before that, which is really the bottom. I mean, there is a comic about that, so I guess it's okay. But it was cray.
Yeah, but speaking of advanced ticket sales, if we want to just briefly touch on that, so advanced ticket sales are doing very well for BVS
really
right now.
Well. Not necessarily, I guess Star Wars set the bar really high, but they're still doing really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, I don't know what site you can actually check the percentage or whatever. It said BVS is trending at 54% or something. That was really good, actually. So.
Yeah, it was, MovieTickets.com actually does this really cool thing where, somehow they've kind of started losing out to Fandango, but they on a site, they'll show you what percentage of ticket sales in the last 24 hours, what percentage a given movie made up of their ticket sales in the last 24 hours. And according to Movie Tickets, advanced ticket sales for Batman v Superman made up 58.8% in the 24-hour period since they went online a couple of days ago. I think it was Monday at 8 a.m. to Tuesday at 8 a.m. It was 58.8%.
Yeah, and that's crazy. I mean,
it's really good for a movie that's still
hours
3 weeks away. That is really, really good.
Yeah, and even when I went to buy my tickets, I woke up I woke up early to get there right as they went on, and I went to buy the IMAX for the opening night, and there were people already buying them at 7.
Yeah,
half the theater was already sold out. I'm really?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's crazy. It's a huge movie. People are really excited for this. So have both of you guys bought your tickets?
Oh yeah, I have 2 that I bought, and then the free screening early. So
I've got mine right here. I printed it.
I am
you can't see them. You can't.
I actually have not. We heard the rustle of the paper, which I guess people will take to mean.
Well, they're physical then.
He's real.
God, it's real.
He's not lying. He actually
got it
bought
off the
tickets.
picture screen. I did.
I heard the paper. But
why didn't you get your pictures then, Seat?
Our viewers, if you go into YouTube analytics, our viewers are almost 99% American. So I don't know why we're doing British voices for that.
Yeah, dude, that's racist.
To the.
That's racist.
It's not racist. It ain't on a race.
Oh my god.
Oh, now it turned Aussie.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's actually.
They're all the.
Dude, you gotta buy your ticket though.
Gotta do the rock. I do. Well, see, here's the thing. I know. And I'm falling into the same trap I did with Star Wars. I was I know the area I'm in, and the theater that I could buy advance tickets for, the only one that I can buy advance tickets for, is 15 minutes away, and I'm oh, nobody cares. It's I'll be fine. So for Star Wars, I was in that mindset the entire time, and then it's I was very lucky. They were sold out completely of all the IMAX showings and all the standard showings on Thursday night, except for a 1:40 a.m. IMAX showing. Which I was great. It was really cool. But for BVS, I'm kind of falling into that trap. I'm not sure anyone in my area really cares, but I'm sure they do. So I really should actually buy my next paycheck, guys. Next paycheck.
Dude, 1:40 a.m. That's dedicated. You're getting out of there at 4.
And what's hilarious is I was okay, 1:40 a.m. I figured. And I did get out at almost 4. 1:40 a.m. I was great. I'll leave my house at 12:45. I'll get to the theater at 1 a.m. I'll have my pick of the seats. I got there at 1 a.m. and I was in a line that wrapped like around the, I guess, concourse area of the theater out to the door.
And you're like, oh.
I was like, shit. Actually, I was like, fucking nerds. I looked in the mirror and was like, you're a fucking nerd too. Figure this shit out. But I don't know, guys. I need to buy them. I'm going to fall into the same trap and be left ticketless and at 148.
You gotta get your head in the game, man.
It's cool. They have a theater chain out here that's like a premium theater. It's called the ArcLight Cinemas, and there's a couple. There's one on Sunset, and there's one in Sherman Oaks, which is kind of closer by to me. And I looked, and they're actually playing it in 70mm film projection, like Hateful Eight. So I'm like, I gotta go see it there too now.
Yeah. I feel like Richmond is such a hipster city that there's probably a place that shoots, or not shoots, but films. Not even films that would project in 70mm. I just have not found it yet.
Dude, that's the best version you're gonna get.
Best version,
Tarantino
approved.
Film. Yeah, I just hope there's no like intermission.
Yeah, they'll play the theme, the score during the intermission.
What are they gonna have for the title card? It's gonna be like a picture of like some Batfleck staring at you with the theme. And
joke's on you. It's actually not gonna be like any. It's going to be a silent film, black and white.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be the old-timey ragtime music.
Dude, that'd be cool to see black and white BVS.
Yeah.
That's like Watchmen. I want to see a Watchmen.
I actually would be really interested to see if the director's cut like messes with the saturation of colors at all. But that'll be interesting.
Well, like Mad Max got a black and white release or something, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe on the DVD, I don't know. But
True.
You can always turn your TV settings to black and white if you really desire.
That's cheap though. It doesn't look right.
It's the pleb way, but it's the right way.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of the news, though, we do have stuff to talk about. Zack Snyder talked like a bunch of freaking articles about DC stuff. Like he just blocks of text. Like he was writing an essay about DC movies, and the first thing I guess we want to touch on is the Justice League. The mythological grounding of Justice League. He wants to like create this world that you can believe, but also have like a sense of like fantastic like elements to it. I guess like with Flash and Aquaman, like try and figure out their power sets, how to display them properly. So like, what do you guys think about that?
I think it's interesting. I'm going to let Luke go first. I talked about this a lot today already in my 7.5
minute 8-minute video.
Well, no, like it easily fits in with what they've been setting up already with like Batman v Superman and Man of Steel. Just like these powers are more realistic, or these are fantastical powers that are taking place in a realistic world. So it is cool to see. I am kind of interested to see how they're going to handle like stuff like the Flash and Aquaman basically telepathically talks to fish. Green Lantern basically has universal magic. So it's going to be interesting how they really go about grounding the stuff. I'm guessing it's just going to be fantastical stuff in a realistic world, which that's not a bad approach. It's definitely looking cool with BVS. So
yeah, they have that cool. Even I think a couple months ago when Charles Roven talked about this too a little bit, he was like, yeah, we really want to have like our universe based with like a scientific realism, but like also have these powers that you can recognize, from the canon and all that.
Yeah, like I would say, if they're going to go about this, it really would cement the idea that the Justice League are the modern day like mythology, like they're modern day gods.
So it's really interesting to me, like he, because the quote is kind of like vague, and I feel like if somebody asked him to clarify, like he probably like would, but he's like what they can or can't do. I guess it seems to me the way I kind of got it is what you guys are saying. It's like he's talking about their power sets. What are they going to be able to do? In these movies, and I for one see no problem with this. I think we're not in the era of film anymore where Superman is going to be flying around the earth to turn back time, because that's not how time works.
That's realistic though.
It is.
It's cool.
George Reeves. It's the power of love. Cue the Huey Lewis. But the
well, that's Interstellar, dude.
Yeah, Murph.
That's another meme.
Yeah, I actually
another time
recently saw that and I actually really liked it. But now I'm going to yell Murph at all these baseball games. But that's another story for another time. But I mean, I for one, like, I'm fine with this. I don't think there's a certain suspension of disbelief inherent in film, and I think that is even greater in comic book film. But nobody is gonna buy if Superman is literally out here bench pressing the fucking earth. Or if Green Lantern... I mean, and it'll be interesting, like you're saying, Luke, to see how Green Lantern is represented, or to see if Aquaman really does talk to fish, or if he's just more powerful in water and can telepathically, like, you know, control these things, how they represent that. Barry is an interesting case to me. Will he be able to travel through time? Will he even approach the speed of light as a speedster?
Yeah, they already confirmed, like Ezra Miller during that DC special, remember, he said he can travel through time, like the Flash has all of space and time.
Yeah, so I mean, like, automatically Flash is the most powerful.
Yeah.
But they're gonna, like, nerf him or make him dumb in the movie.
How do you nerf the ability to travel through time?
They do it all the time on the show, though.
Fam. You make it accompany the time traveling and complete.
They make him
awareness.
jog all the time on the CW.
Oh,
show.
you know what? They'll probably. I actually hope they do this. They'll probably make it the cosmic treadmill.
That actually is what I think is going to happen. Like, I think they're going to make him a really fast guy who can run, like, pretty close to the speed of light, but and that in itself has its own, like, relativity connotation, but he can run pretty close to the speed of light, but he needs the treadmill to go back in time or forward in time, if they ever even address that. So.
Yeah, so I guess the next piece that Snyder talked about was the way that Batman views Superman. And also the fact that the destruction of Metropolis was more like to him, the destruction of Metropolis had more weight than killing Zod.
Yeah.
Just because of, like, what happened, like, Metropolis was a large, like, not like a large part of the city, but I guess a few blocks were pretty leveled, and, like, it just had a lasting impact on humanity, I guess, in this universe, you know?
So do we want to talk about, like, the Metropolis stuff first?
Yeah. I mean, like, what do you guys think about that?
I think it's...
Yeah.
I mean, that was, like, going back to, like, you know, right after Man of Steel, and in the time since Man of Steel, that was always my biggest thing with the movie. My biggest thing wasn't, like... I'm fine with them fighting in Metropolis, because you can't always pick where you fight your villains. I'm fine with him killing Zod. I think that's something that he can learn from. But the one thing that I've always wanted from this movie is that Kryptonian deathmatch has got to have consequences. And I think it seems like what they're doing is really, really interesting and complex. And he actually says in his quote, "I wanted to show how Bruce Wayne feels when he's reduced to a sidelined sitter. Batman is frightened by his impotence in the face of that." And I was like, that is actually like an incredibly complex and intelligent way to handle it. But I love that, honestly.
For sure. Like, I never had a problem with the Metropolis getting leveled or anything like a lot of other people, but I always knew that it could be made better if they actually built upon it in a sequel. And it's just good to know there's a lot of emphasis being put on the consequences of Man of Steel. It actually makes it seem much more integral to this universe, and it makes me excited that, not to knock any other cinematic universes, but it makes each movie have like a nice weight to it, to the idea that the things that happen in this movie will have huge lasting consequences in the next one, and not just be kind of brushed over. Again, not knocking any other cinematic universe.
True.
Like what, the Fox universe?
The Fox one, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't want to name names.
Deadpool is the...
well, they suck anyway, I mean.
Deadpool is the first movie that's actually acknowledged that something catastrophic has previously happened.
Oh, like the X-Mansion being destroyed.
Gets blown up every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it is really cool, and it's really nice to see sort of an ideological aspect from Batman's point of view. I like that line that he's frightened by his own impotence, because, yeah, he would be. There's, like, basically a god, and he was, like, I guess he thought he was the only hero, and then he sees there's this god that can, like, destroy a city.
Burn the whole place down.
And, yeah, and he's just, I can't do anything.
You know,
when he puts on that suit.
Unless I put on the suit, yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm, jacking Snyder off too much, but this all is tying together in a very...
keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
I love him.
Just, this is... It's all tying together so great to me. And I really hope the movie is good, but whether it's good or not, I will like how they tied in Batman here, because you go from that quote you can go from he's frightened by his impotence, like you said, Luke. He felt like he was the only hero, and he's just a man. And I feel like that ties in directly into why he might end up, maybe getting like a little entrapped into working with Lex Luthor, but probably going along with it because he honestly believes what Lex Luthor is saying at some point in this movie. It's like, this is the end of human progress. This is the end of humanity's greatness. And we're all we would all be kind of like impotent in the face of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like that. But if you don't mind, can I segue into the next Batman quote?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that actually really ties into the next one, because Zack Snyder was talking about how Superman sees himself and sees the world as a character in this in a preview that Wired magazine released ahead of their issue, and I guess an interview with Zack Snyder. And he also released this quote about how Batman sees himself and Superman. And he says, it's interesting to see how Batman perceives Superman because he doesn't know who Superman is. All he knows is the public face of Superman. And if you have an idea about someone, or if you start to doubt someone's intentions, you can always read in the media. You can always see the face that you want to see based on how it's reported. Batman's seen the destruction of Metropolis. That's the thing he knows for a fact. So if thousands die, is that okay? What's next? Millions? Is everyone okay with that? Because I'm not. That's Batman's point of view. And that kind of ties in with the impotence, and it ties in with the Superman quote. Interestingly, when we get to talking about that. So, what do you guys think about that? It's kind of it just
further elaborates the point that like both of these heroes see themselves as the good guy doing the right thing, and they're it's gonna be hard for them to confront each other about this if they do the similar thing, but just in a different method.
Yeah, and I think even more so in my part. This is essentially Batman standing up and saying, I am doing this for humanity because you need to see that, like you just need to know that you're not all powerful here. Yep. And I think this whole entire thing just brings to that fact the mission of Batman being bring Superman down to our level instead of up high in the clouds.
Dude, that's why he says in the movie, he's like, it's time you learn what it means to be a meme. When he has the armor on.
It's time you learn what it means to be Pepe.
And, I mean, before we even get into talking about the Superman quote, it's really interesting because he mentions in this Batman quote, if thousands die, is that okay? What's next? This movie is actually kind of... It's what?
That's in the movie. Remember that TV spot with Bruce Wayne?
And that's and I think that's really an intriguing point, because even with the Superman quote, it sounds like beyond the destruction of Metropolis, as like some people don't see Superman as a good guy. It's very Incredibles to me. If you guys remember the movie The Incredibles, where it's like, and I love that movie so much even now because not only is it entertaining to me, it's also a pretty good example of what would happen if there really were superheroes in our world. I mean, you've got these ambulance chasers, you've got people who will scream their heads off about collateral damage, even when the collateral damage is, insignificant or not that high. And so I think that's a very interesting aspect that they're introducing to this movie that I didn't even know that I wanted them to introduce, but I'm really glad that they're adding as a layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, it's nice to see, again, like I said before, it's nice to see a movie where these heroics are actually, like, consequences are actually being introduced in a major way.
Dude, 18 days. 18 days till I see this movie.
18 days for
so hyped.
For you.
Or for Nick.
Dude, 3 years. It's been 3 Comic-Cons they've been hyping this movie up.
I mean, my entire life I've been wanting a Batman v Superman movie.
And
so,
some people, did you like, if we can briefly aside, did you see the hullabaloo yesterday about apparently there was a theater in California that accidentally added available tickets online for press screening on March 5th?
Oh, March 6th.
March 6th.
It was fake though. They like messed it up.
It was a real press screening, but they weren't supposed to put it on the website, and people were freaking out. People like, I guess, J. Roar and Caboose were freaking out, and I was like, neither of you guys are anywhere near California.
Yeah, dude, I would be
first
there,
and foremost.
if anything.
Yeah, I know. Nick would get to see that. But I guess, talking about Batman in that way, there's a good segue into the Superman quote. Do you guys want me to read this one? Like the...
Yeah, the Superman one, yeah.
Superman one, all right. Yeah. And I'll say this is, and I kind of, reading this kind of gave me a little bit of reassurance, because there was one of my big issues with Man of Steel was Superman didn't feel like Superman. And even though I enjoyed the movie, it's like, I was like, there's room for him to grow still. And this movie should calm a lot of the fears if there are any of you out there listening that felt that way. So, here it is. Over the last 2 years, he's basically been Superman as pop culture would know him. He's been righting wrongs, there have been floods, mines have collapsed, bridges have collapsed, churches have caught on fire. He's basically been a hero. When we find him, he's been dealing with the everyday world of being a superhero, but there's a paradigm shift happening, and the unintended consequences of some of those rescues are starting to come into fruition. He's starting to see that every action is a reaction. Like if you're just taking a cat out of a tree, you can't touch anything, or the arborists will say, he damaged the tree branch when he got the cat down, or the cat wasn't neutered, so now there's thousands of cats. There's no winning anymore for Superman. That's just another really complex... When I say it was Incredibles, that's kind of what I mean. It's, there are people like, arborists. They're screaming about broken trees, or people that are like, damn, now there's a ton of cats, dude.
Dude, it's like the Watchmen.
It is, kind of. Yeah, it is actually. I was going for the Incredibles. I don't know why I didn't connect the dots on Watchmen, too, but it is very much like what happened in Watchmen as well.
Well, I mean, Incredibles is...
Incredibles is Watchmen, dude.
The times they are a-changing. It actually is Watchmen.
Essentially. It's a G-rated Watchmen.
G-rated Watchmen.
Yeah, it is.
When everybody has superpowers, nobody does.
Yeah, I actually... I saw this a way different light. I saw this more of, like, very parallel to the backlash that Man of Steel gets.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, the entire thing is basically talking about he saved a cat from a tree, and then the whole thing is going to be like, oh, he broke some tree branches, or the cat wasn't neutered. It's, like, very insignificant things that shouldn't even matter.
Yeah, there's no winning for Superman.
Can anyone tell that Luke was doing, with that analysis, Luke was doing, I think, what was it, English homework? Before we started this, he got his literary analysis. Spanish, he got his literary analysis on for the Zack Snyder quote.
Yeah,
that's a good catch.
I was doing Spanish, but no, like all your stuff is still applicable too. With like, it's very much in universe, but I also saw it as, it does kind of seem like the backlash after Man of Steel, because a lot of complaints I see for some. I mean, I don't like the movie. I said that before, but some of the complaints I've seen as a whole are pretty insignificant and not really worth complaining about.
Is Zack Snyder bitter?
No, like, I mean, I'm sure it's very in-universe, and it's really applicable to BVS and Superman's role, but I just thought, wouldn't it be interesting if that was just a little bit of bitterness sort of sneaking in there?
I mean, I like it because it seems like this is, like I said, this is the one thing that I wanted from... In Man of Steel, we didn't get to see the consequences. And I was like, my final rating, I guess you could say, on Man of Steel was basically based on the upside of the movie and the upside of the universe, and saying, like, okay, let's take a couple of years and we'll see where Superman is as a hero. And it sounds like he's there as a hero. And then on top of that, they've added this layer of, well, the public's not really that. There's this faction in the public that didn't like Metropolis, and there's this faction that doesn't like anything Superman does. But people are starting to get kind of, Watchmen-y or Incredible Z on them, where it's like, oh man, you stopped the train and saved all of our lives, but I broke my neck. Ow, I can't work. You suck, Superman.
All of those people had cats.
Exactly.
But yeah.
But we have other pieces of news.
But I think that, I don't know, that like all these quotes, like when you think about it, they all... We've seen them now in all the trailers. Like, we know they're going to be in the movie and stuff. Like, there's no play aspects in the movie. Superman's going to have to win over people in the minds of people in this movie.
Just like Superman in real life.
Batman's going to have to teach him what it means to be Pepe.
To be a meme.
To be a meme.
He has to be a big guy.
To be a big guy. To be CIA, truly.
Well, that's what his face...
to be CIA.
That's what his face was portraying when, like, in that trailer where you see him, like, about to run over the Batmobile. Like, when he has that shocked face, he's like, oh, man, he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. But so we also have this Wonder Woman stuff to talk about.
Yeah, okay, so...
we can breeze through this pretty quick.
Was this on, like, a toy advert thing?
It's actually... it's the... I don't want to say the weirdest piece of merch that I've ever seen. It's because I've seen some weird fucking merch. It's... more like of I guess a higher priced item. It's not like, what you can buy in most stores. It is a bust, a statue of the upper torso and head of Wonder Woman, and they have these for Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But it's the interesting thing is not the bust itself, but the description next to it, and it reads. It's a little long, but the world's first and foremost female superhero, Wonder Woman at once embodies the unrivaled force and supreme grace of a born warrior and the genuine compassion and understanding of a true humanitarian. As a symbol of equality, power, and truth, her natural confidence and unmistakable intelligence make her an unequaled if unexpected ally. Here's the key part. The immortal Amazonian princess Diana keeps her eyes and ears open for intrigue as the beautiful and mysterious antiquities dealer Diana Prince. So that, I think, as I said in the video, in a moment kind of gives us both her backstory for the DCEU and her kind of alter ego, but it also kind of probably tells us a little bit more. I guess we can allude a little bit as to why she's going to be involved in BVS and kind of like what her own personal storyline might lead into going into her own solo film.
Yeah, well, the solo movie is the prequel, but we also, that's what I was going to say too, it also aligns with what we know of that movie. Like, she's trying to find
Ares'
the sword that Ares is after too.
Or was it Ares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the set photos, remember?
True. The
yeah.
And I think it's, and like I said, we could probably just wrap this up really quickly. It's I think there was a rumor a while back that she was going to be an antiquities dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went under the radar because it wasn't really a big thing, but...
It's good, guys. Yeah. High five.
This is cool. And I guess I should preface this because I don't know if people are complaining about it, but I'm sure they will. She'll probably be an ambassador later. This is just now.
Well, yeah, that's the question that also needs to be answered is, like, how much do people know? Like, do we come into this movie and people know what Themyscira is or where Themyscira is? Or is it still kind of like a secret?
I'm guessing it's a secret of Argus that Steve Trevor Jr. kept under wraps.
I like that theory. I also like the way you said that. Good diction.
Steve Trevor.
But I don't know, man. I think this is like, I love it. I think it's the perfect. What other day job would you give a thousands of year old?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's 5,000 in BVS.
I mean, she can overprice everything.
She was like, I bought one of these. She pulls off the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Man, I bought one of these fresh off the line. It's like, that's a chariot. It's like,
she pulls off the cartoon claws. She's like, these go for $1 kajillion. Yeah. Is that a real number? It ought to be.
I used this to kill my enemies.
Yeah.
But
it's cool though. Like, there were also in like early things that we had heard about the movie. Remember, she was like rumored to be like an emissary for Themyscira or something. Like, she was some world emissary or some shit.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna come in later though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I mean, at least she, like, it looks like she's going to be in a pretty large role in the movie.
Yeah.
It's all just like a cameo, or what's not going to be
a lot bigger than I thought originally.
I've heard good things as well. So
I hope.
Yeah.
But
it looks cool. The trailer. She's like, yeah.
I like that she got to say something finally.
I like your little battle yell.
Yeah, it was good.
solid battle yell. But I guess the last story is pretty big.
Yep,
just came out.
Pretty big.
We might be like
monumentous even.
Pretty big.
Monumentous is a new word. Luke has made it up.
That's a word.
Monumental and momentous, I believe, are the
the two. This last story came from
right.
Wrap. The Wrap just exclusively broke this a while ago, like a couple hours ago. They're like, shout out to Jeff Snyder
from the Wrap game.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, David Ayer, he's going off to do a movie called, what is it, Brights or something? Or cop drama or something? I don't know. Something like that.
Something like that.
And he's going to shoot it with Will Smith. And who else is in it?
I don't know who else is in the movie, but I do know this is another cop drama for David Ayer.
Yeah. Well, he loves those street dramas, dude. He loves it.
He does. I had no idea he was a writer on Training Day until I just rewatched that a couple of days ago.
That was his first professional gig, actually. He got $1 million paycheck off that.
I mean, it's a great movie. I mean, Ethan Hawke saved that neighborhood from Denzel Washington. It was pretty tight.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. But he's So basically, the point of the story is though that David Ayer is going to do that movie right now with Will Smith and another actor. It's someone on Suicide Squad though, right? Like 2 actors.
Jaden Smith.
With buzz riding high on their comic book pick Suicide Squad, director David Ayer and Will Smith are looking to reunite for their next project. Sources tell Variety they're in talks to join the Max Landis spec script Bright, with Ayer on attached to direct. Joel Edgerton is in talks to
Yeah, that's who, Joel Edgerton.
Max Landis.
Dude, oh no,
Max Landis.
Oh, okay. No.
Friend of the show.
Dropped
Friend of the show
right
has never mentioned or referenced the show in any way. We only assume that he is.
I'm sure we've referenced him. We
Dude,
just had
Max
to cut
Landis?
it. But...
Why?
Sorry, Max.
Wow.
Okay. You know that tree stopped that car. I see myself as that tree. Are you the car that I'm stopping?
Yeah, but the point of this story, as I was saying, is that David Ayer is going off to shoot this with Will Smith right now, and he's targeting his next film to be Suicide Squad 2 with Will Smith. They're going to shoot that in 2017. They're trying to line up his schedule, I guess.
Yeah, the big news for this, and this is out of the Variety report as well, and this is this quote directly. It's unknown when the film would get underway, but the hope is to get production rolling this year in order to get both Ayer and Smith ready for a Suicide Squad sequel shoot by 2017. That's huge, because the movie is not out for another 5 months.
But, I mean, really, I kind of saw this coming, to be honest, because just the positive buzz that's been going around the movie. I mean, even with the original Comic-Con trailer, like, people were like, oh my god, this looks amazing, like Jared Leto Joker and all, Harley Quinn. And
DC is, I mean, they're hoping that at the most this is like a Guardians of the Galaxy type success for them, where they take a not like a D-list team, but certainly a C-list team and make it a hit franchise that they can just crank out and hopefully turn into as successful as Justice League is. Maybe that's tier A. It's like you take tier B and kind of spin off Suicide Squad into their own thing.
This also lines up with the rumors that DC was developing team franchises to lead with. You know, they have the A-listers in Justice League. They have the Villains franchise with Suicide Squad. They have the Teen Titans franchise that will hopefully be introduced with Cyborg. And then they're also developing a Birds of Prey movie to have the female team, in there. So,
but I think the other really interesting thing to me about this is they want to get production underway this year. I mean, the key thing in that sentence is they want it so they get out, like they're freed up for a Suicide Squad sequel shoot by 2017. So that means we might see, like, we probably won't see a Suicide Squad sequel in 2017, but I mean, we very likely will see it in 2018.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, then that confirms that DC is going to potentially have 3 movies a year now, like Marvel does now. I mean, that's kind of crazy, to be honest.
And it's going to be a big few years for comic book fans, and to be a YouTube channel in the comic book industry. So
jeez,
subscribe.
Dude, three movies. Wow, I can't even fathom.
Dropping
3 movies of that scale
office, every couple of months.
That's 6, including Marvel and DC. Plus, we've got the Fox cinematic.
Well, Fox.
crap.
Who cares about Fox? I mean, really.
Well, I'm just saying.
Fox is honestly, sadly, like, other than Deadpool, Fox. From what I've heard about this movie from inside sources, Fox might be dead after June.
Wait, who's inside source?
I can't name my inside source, man.
Okay.
I can't do that. That's journalism 101.
You got it from
let's just
4
say
different
test
people
screenings
that don't know
are
each
not
other.
They don't know
going
each
over well.
other. Their people don't know each other.
3
The
people.
sources, yeah.
3 people. Could be one person with multiple personalities.
Well, also, we also have the
Valiant
cinematic universe.
Oh,
happening.
yeah. Oh, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, that could be viable.
I'm actually, nobody cares other than probably me and Josh again, but really excited.
I actually have to start reading Valiant
Bloodshot,
stuff. Dude. Cool.
Bloodshot Reborn?
If Bloodshot is like Terminator, like they're saying it's going to be, yes, I think that'll be perfect.
Yeah, but going back to the DC story though, a Suicide Squad 2, yeah, I could definitely see it happening. I think this movie, Suicide Squad, could easily do 700, easy business. It's PG-13 too, so
PG-13. I think it's going to be one of those that's
it's got
serious,
Joker, Batman.
It's serious. It's grim. It's gritty, but it also just looks funny from what we've seen. That second trailer was the big thing because the first trailer didn't look. Like, it looked like it might have had some humorous moments, but it probably wouldn't be as funny. And everyone was saying this movie is a lot funnier than that trailer shows. And I think the goal of that second trailer was this movie is going to be hilarious. Like, Captain Boomerang might turn around Jai Courtney's career.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's going to unjust his career.
Yeah, if anything, I'm actually really excited about Captain Boomerang.
I know. When he cracked that fucking beer in the trailer, I was like, this is a man after my own heart.
I was just like, that's just fucking Captain Boomerang.
That's pretty much it.
He just needs the little hat and like he's perfect.
He was the star of the trailer.
Well, that's
he really was.
But also another thing that they haven't played their ace card yet either, and like an official trailer. I mean, like putting because Batman's gonna have a sizable role, dude. Dude, it's Batman.
Oh,
Batman is in the movie for a large role.
Kind of as a backdoor pilot for the Batman movie, right?
Yeah, because he's trying to get Joker.
Like the Batman movie needs a backdoor pilot.
It does.
Well, he has a scene with Amanda Waller too, though.
True.
I mean, that'll be cool. I'm just saying.
That'll be tight. That's like the most underrated part of that movie that I'm actually excited about is Viola Davis. I feel like nobody's talking about her as Waller, and she seems perfect.
She seems really cool.
Yeah,
I want to see more stuff, but at the same time, I think she's going to have the best scene, so I'm glad they're keeping her stuff kind of limited to that one scene. I think she's going to have some of the best quotes in the movie.
Dude, how many memes is this going to spawn, this movie?
All the memes.
Is there going to be a new big guy level meme?
Meme squad.
I don't think there will ever be another big guy level meme. It's been 4 years.
CIA character?
It's untouchable.
Dude, little do you know, my inside sources tell me CIA Bane Hunter is actually in Suicide Squad.
Dude, that's what I've been waiting for. Like, when are we gonna see his cameo in the movie? Like CIA, because he's on the squad.
When will he come back?
He is
literally a photoshopped image moving across the screen via Adobe Premiere.
Guys, fine. I didn't want to break this source until tomorrow's H&N, but all right, I got to tell you guys. Rick Flag is not in Suicide Squad. It's all an illusion. Joel Kinnaman is actually not in it at all. He's basically just a standee, kind of like Andre Tricato was in Deadpool. He's just there. In post, they will add Aidan Gillen's CIA guy in as he will replace Rick Flag.
He's going to confront Joker and be like, "So what's the next step of your master plan?
Is getting caught part of your plan?" If I take that, he's talking about the tattoos. He's he'll show up first. He runs a laser tattoo removal store in the mall. Joker walks in, getting caught, party plan, blah blah blah. They're in the chair. He's got the laser thing. Talking about that tattoos. If I take those off, will it hurt? That's how. That's word for word how it goes down. Just had a source get out of the screening.
Yeah.
No one cared about me until I put a tattoo on.
Actually, that could be pretty accurate. But
yeah,
all right.
But we're into Bane posting now.
Into the Bane posting.
we gotta end this quick. Before...
Dude, this is turning in bad.
It's getting.
All right, let's end it.
Taking a turn to 4chan.
Somebody hit
That's
the
always
PayPay.
a good thing, though. I love 4chan.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was pretty much the episode. Like Suicide Squad 2, Zack Snyder, Wonder Woman role, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. Just a quick shout out, if I could give one. Shout out to Virginia Commonwealth University, the Rowdy Rams. If anybody's listening, kudos to whoever had the sad Pepe sign at the game. literally a thing that happened. I am not joking. At the game, the sad Pepe sign went up whenever the other team was shooting free throws. Made my night. Other than the win, of course, made my night. But
dude, who goes to basketball games?
I do, man. Hoop Life.
That's pleb.
I've got a Hoop Life mixtape.
Go to
dude,
golf
why would you
games,
go
man.
out with like stinky people? Like, why not stream
with
it from
stinky
your home?
people?
I could actually. Well, the issue is I don't have good cable, so.
Yeah, because you could watch it from like the comfort of your home with like a nice Snuggie on and like.
I could. I just wore a Snuggie.
With a nice
game.
yank it.
Yeah.
Get some of that
Pepe
cocoa
Snuggie.
that I'm in love with.
The Pepe Snuggie.
Pepe Snuggie. I actually put on
I
my
would
onesie.
buy that.
I actually, when I watch TV, I put on my onesie and like hang off of the edge of my bunk bed. Luke. Luke's dead.
Dude, that has to go in the
I'm
thumbnail.
just laughing at the laugh.
That Pepe, dude. That has to go in the thumbnail, that Pepe.
End it.
It's over. Kill it. Consider this mercy.
Well, this is we've been Super Friends episode 28. Thank you guys again for listening. If you like the episode, click that like button down there. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and we'll be back again next week
with more Pepe,
more Pepe and Bane.
Oh my god.